general to talk about form theater. Can anybody tell me what form theater is or anything they?
Do you remember anything from that handout last time? Did you read the handout?
There's
last
been a
time?
whole
Well,
entire weekend.
We read it, but it wasn't like.
Yeah, some of you may remember from last year named Augusta Boal. Augusta Boal is who we study for Theater of the Oppressed, and form theater comes out of his work in Theater of the Oppressed. It is a type of theater that brings the audience into the scenes, and so the audience, instead of being spectators, they are spect-actors, meaning they view the scenes and then they also act within the scene. And the purpose of that participation is so audience members become active participants in changing things that don't feel right, that don't sit well with them, help change the conflict within the scene so there's a more desirable outcome for the scene. And this is a good way, these kind of scenes are good ways to deal with minor issues as well as larger global issues around different forms of oppression that you may see. Okay? So that's the role of form theater in a very broad scope. Any questions for me about just what form theater is? Did you get the chance to read Burnt Out, the synopsis? Some of you? Can anybody tell me if that related to them at all? Like, what from that synopsis, did you go, oh yeah, that's me, at all? What if I say burnt out? What does that mean to you?
Tired, done, fed up.
Tired, done, stressed. Okay. How many of you have felt burnt out or one of those different adjectives at some point? So it's universal, right? Being burnt out or feeling that kind of stress is universal. So no matter what kind of scenario it's in, all of us have been somewhere there. And then, what are different influences to being burnt out? What are, when we talk about a protagonist versus an antagonist, so position yourself as the protagonist, the person who's burnt out. What are some of the antagonists that influence you feeling burnt out or being burnt out? Be a person, it could be yourself, it could be different events. School.
Bullied, family problems.
Family.
Bullied.
Being bullied. What else?
Having too much on your plate.
Too much on your plate? Okay, good. Yeah. So I'm asking these questions just so we can start getting you in the frame of mind of what performance we're going to be doing for you today, okay? So good, that's great. So we know what feeling burnt out is. We have some adjectives. We can identify some antagonists. When you feel burnt out, how do you react? What are some of your reactions to being burnt out? What do you do? How do you deal with it? Or how do you display being burnt out?
I sleep and watch anime.
You sleep?
And watch anime.
And watch anime. So you sleep and you tune out. What else?
Maybe different forms of like relieving stress. So like maybe going working out or sleeping, watching TV, going on your phone.
Okay. Which are very different. So like working out, the physical release of that versus sleeping and checking out. Very different, polar opposites, right? But both utilized. Other things you do?
I did video games.
Play video games. Yeah.
I just say sort of like a screw it sort of thing,
Yeah.
and I just lay down and think about how I'm gonna not do anything.
Forget it. I know it's all that, yeah. Toss it out the window. I don't care. Good. All right, so today for you, what we're going to do is we're going to present a short little scene. It's in 3 segments. And it really was written for college level because of the content. So the first scene is going to be the protagonist, the college student, Shelby, going to see her advisor to register for classes. But you guys all have to meet with a counselor at some point and register for classes, right? So think of it in that relationship to your world currently. Then the second scene is going to be the student meeting up with her friend, okay? And you'll see a little game of comparison happening, which I'm sure you guys have experienced before, the friend comparison. And then the third scene is going to be Shelby interacting with her parents. So Shelby, the student, is on campus and her parents are coming to visit her, okay, on campus. So you're going to see 3 little snippets, and each scene was written by one of us, and then we put them together into this formal. So you're going to watch us perform this scene, and while you're watching us perform this scene, I want you to think of places where the protagonist, the student, does something that doesn't help her, that promotes feeling burnt out, promotes those different feelings that are associated with getting burnt out, where she doesn't help herself. And find those moments where you would have done it differently. If you know, from an outside perspective, what would you do differently? How would you communicate with the person in the scene differently? What actions would you have done differently? What would you have said that was different? Okay. Before I go on with what the second part of this process is, I just want you to see the scene first, okay? So we're going to just watch the scene, and then I'll tell you what the next part of this is, all right? Let's go ahead and reintroduce our characters.
I'm Jacob. I'll be the advisor.
I'm Shelby, and I'm going to be the protagonist or the student.
I'm Allison, and I'm one of the students. I'll be the next one as the friend.
Okay, sorry.
Next walk-in. You can take a seat right here.
Okay, I just had a few questions that I wanted to ask.
What's your student ID number?
164222725.
You can log into that computer if you want to look at classes.
Oh, okay. I just had a couple questions that I wanted to.
Oh, you switched your major from theater to biology.
No, I'm actually a double major now, theater and biology.
Oh, so what are you here for?
Okay, so I know it'll add on a few extra classes to my graduation plan, but I just think it would be just great if I could apply to the honors college, because I think it'd be really impressive to prospective employers if I could just show.
I think that maybe you should just worry about this semester first and try to breathe a little.
I am breathing, but I was just wondering if I should add on any extra classes to my next semester so that I can graduate on time.
You're definitely going to want to add some classes next semester, but your graduation plan will definitely be thrown off.
Okay, by how much?
You're almost out of time. Do you have any quick questions?
Okay, so I wanna add on an extra class to my spring semester.
You may end up over 18 credits, but you should be fine.
I'll just add that to my honors college courses then.
Sounds good.
I think I'm late for an audition, so I should go.
All right. Next walk-in.
Okay. Scene 2, the protagonist and her friend.
I'm so glad it's almost winter break.
Yeah.
So how'd you do on that bio test?
Oh, I don't really want to talk about that.
Oh, come on.
What?
Why won't you tell me? Did you do that bad? So bad you can't even tell me?
No, I don't think it's worth talking about.
Sure, fine. Suit yourself.
I got a B-.
Well, that's not that bad. I only got an A-.
Well, I will never recover from that grade.
Please, you've always done well in school. Remember Miss Schmidt's class? High school, sophomore year, you almost did better than me.
we'll see.
So did you end up auditioning for that play? What was it again?
Midsummer? Yeah, I did.
I'm so jealous. I almost got to audition, but I'm just too involved with now the Women's Center and homecoming and now tour team. I just had no time.
Yeah, just should keep me busy.
What part are you?
Oh, I'm just one of the fairies.
Oh, well that'll be fun. I was the lead in high school, remember, Hippolyta? It was pretty fun.
Yeah. Well, I know it's not a major role, but I'll just be happy to be participating. Although I never really sleep as it is.
I know, anyone who sleeps in college is weird as hell. So anyway, when I was the lead, I had a lot of lines. It was really stressful, so it's probably good that you're just, not that I couldn't handle it, but I mean, with your busy.
So what sorority did you say you were in again?
Gamma Delta. But they're making us do so many study hours because we need first in grades for the 4th semester in a row.
I mean, there are worse things.
I mean, I'm glad they're smart or whatever, but I can't afford to get an A-.
Don't you think that's a little dramatic?
Well, maybe, but didn't you say you don't have to do any study hours?
I don't know, I guess my sorority just kind of assumes we'll study on our own, I guess.
Then how did you do in grades last semester?
I mean, I did okay. Grades are important, but they're not the only thing that matter.
Yeah,
Right?
maybe if you don't want to be a threat. I personally like being challenged, so
I never said that.
anyway. I'm headed to Chipotle, big group project, and of course somehow I got put in charge of it all. What's new? It'll be a long night. Would you like to join us? You said you hadn't had lunch yet.
No, I'm not really that hungry, and I don't want to distract you.
I probably shouldn't have those burritos either. I always feel like a fat ass whenever I have one.
You are so skinny.
Psh, yeah, right. I'm already halfway to the Mizzou 22. Anyway, I gotta get going. I'll see you Wednesday.
Yeah, see you then.
Okay, scene 3, we're in the dorm room.
Much larger than normal. That's exactly it.
Peanut, we're here.
Honey? Where is she? It's 10 a.m. 10 a.m. on the dot. I told her we'd be here. Text her. Text her. Sweetie, we've missed you so much. Your father and I, your father and I have been talking the whole way about how excited we are about seeing our girl in action, making a name for herself at the family alma mater.
You'd think her mother was one of the students.
Hey, can't a mom be excited about her baby tiger? M-I-Z! Z-O-U, okay.
Hey, Peanut, why aren't you dressed?
I'm actually not really feeling that well. You guys know the campus better than I do, so you don't really need me anyway.
No way, Peanut.
Dad, stop it with the peanut, okay? I actually didn't do too great on the last test I took, so I should probably stay back and study.
Well, maybe if you weren't spending so much time at that theater, you'd have more time to study. So get up out of bed and stop wallowing. Think positively and positivity will follow. So, put on that beautiful gold jacket I bought for you and let's get moving.
I'm not going.
You are not ruining this weekend for us. You are getting out of bed and we will enjoy this weekend. I'll be waiting for both of you in the car.
We have 5 minutes left on the meter. Peanut, please hurry up. And don't antagonize your mother so we can have a good weekend.
And scene.
And during that scene, if you see a point where you would do something differently, as the protagonist, not the antagonist, but as the protagonist, you yell out, stop. You come up and you take her position, and you can tell me, let's, fast forward to this part, or let's move back a little bit to the part right before this conversation started. And then you get to pick up the scene. Now, the point isn't to know the lines, but the point is to engage the scene in a different way to produce a more desirable outcome, right? So whenever you feel like, well, I wouldn't respond like that, I would respond differently to make this a better situation, you yell stop, you come and take her position, and you start the scene. Our actors will go along with you. They'll improvise with you through that. Now they're going to push back on you. They're going to push back and try to not allow you to succeed in that desire until they feel like it's warranted, okay? So you keep on going until you feel like you've played out what you could play out. And then you'll say, I'm done. Or if we feel like if I feel like the scene needs to have somebody else intervene, I'll go ahead and end the scene for you. So stop, take the scene, play it out in a more desirable outcome. Now, some ground rules. Magic is not allowed, okay? So you can't enter the scene and go, yeah, well, I finished all my classes, I got my degree already, ha-ha, right? That's magic. That's not real life. So we want you to engage in a real way. Also, you know, as in any improv, we don't get violent, right? We don't put hands on each other. We don't try to escalate it so it can be a more negative outcome. We're trying to find a more desirable outcome, all right? So just some ground rules, right? If you need help in the middle of it, you can turn to Shelby and say, now what did you say here? Where is this going now? And she'll help you, right? Because we're not trying to have a beautiful finished product. Only one person can intercede at a time, and we allow that person to fully intercede to their fullest desire, and once they're done, they will sit down, and then we'll pick back up in the scene, and we'll start again, and allow somebody else to enter at their point, okay? Questions for me on that? Make sense? All right, what do you say if you want to enter the scene?
Stop.
That's right, all right. If you did not sign that permission form, go ahead and wait until after we turn off the cameras before you call stop and enter the scene, okay? So those of you that did get those permission slip forms, we highly encourage you then to participate. So with that in mind, we had the advisor scene, we had the friend scene, we had the dorm room scene. Let's vote and see which scene would you like to intercede in, okay? So think about those scenes, what they looked like, and we're going to take a vote here in 3 seconds. All right, who would like scene 1? Okay, so John got a half voted. You only have a half vote left now. Scene 2. How many of you want to do the front scene? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and scene 3. Okay, the parent scene. Okay. All right, we'll do the parent scene. Now, just again, we're going to actually do the full scene one time through without any interceding, because now you can really focus in and really find those points where you want to intercede, okay? And then we'll start it a second time, and you can start stopping it, okay? All right, I am going to, at any point in the scene, you can say stop, and then I'm going to invite you to come in and pick up in the scene. Remember, no magic. So one magic would be that she never opens up the door, right? Because that has to happen for the scene to happen, right? So think about, get in your mind, if you were, and I'm not saying you have to enter the scene, that's not a requirement, but if you were to enter the scene, where would it have been? Where would you have interacted differently with these parents if you were Shelby's character?
What do you want to say?
just want you to think, so you have it in mind. You don't have to tell me, I just want you to kind of have it in there, ready to pull from. Okay. We're gonna start the scene again. What do you say if you want in?
Stop.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Peanut, we're here.
Honey? Where is she? We told her we'd be here at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. on the dot. Text her. Sweetheart, oh, I've missed you so much. Your father and I. Where's your phone? Your father and I couldn't stop talking about how excited we were to see you in action. Our girl making a name for herself at the family alma mater.
You'd think your mother was one of the students.
Stop it. Can't Mom be excited about seeing her baby tiger? M-I-Z! Z-O-U. Okay.
Hey, Peanut, why aren't you dressed?
Oh, I'm actually not really feeling that well. You guys know the campus better than I do, so you don't really need me.
No way, Peanut.
Dad, stop it with the peanut. I actually didn't do so well on my last test, so I want to stay back and study.
Well, maybe if you weren't spending all your time at that theater, you'd have more time to study. So get out of bed and stop wallowing. You know that doesn't help. Think positively, and positivity will follow. So, put on that beautiful gold jacket I got you, and let's get moving.
I'm not going.
You are not going to ruin this weekend for us. You will get up out of bed and enjoy this weekend. I'll be waiting for both of you in the car.
Peanut, 5 minutes left on the meter. Please hurry up. And don't antagonize your mother so we can have a good weekend.
Okay.
I like how nobody went out that time at all.
All right.
I was
It
going
happens.
to, and then I was like,
You're gonna you'll get comfortable. So I also want to encourage you in the moments where the protagonist is silent, you don't have to be silent. You can come in and have something to say. Okay? All right? So rethink about it. I'm going to have our actors do it again, and I'm going to have them do it quicker. Okay? Just in case we have to do the whole scene. Okay? Don't be afraid, because there's no wrong answer, right? There's not a perfect scenario. Like we don't have that designated, like this is how they can win this competition. It's not a competition, right? Yeah, raise your hand if you do have your permission slip signed. Okay. So we're gonna do at least, let's try to get at least 2 of you with the permission slip signed in, so we can have it on film, and then we'll turn it off for those of you that want to enter that don't have your permission slip signed, okay? All right, you guys ready? All right, actors, just a little bit faster, okay?
Peanut, we're here.
Honey? It's 10 a.m. 10 a.m. on the dot. That's when I said we'd be here. Text her. Sweetheart, I've missed you so much. Your father and I could not stop talking about how excited we were to see you in action. Our girl making a name for herself at the family alma mater.
You think your mother was one of the students.
Hey, can't a mom be excited about her baby tiger? M-I-Z!
stop.
Good, okay? Where do you want to start from?
After M-I-Z.
Right, okay? Start there.
M-I-Z!
Z-O-U!
Oh, I'm so excited to see how excited you are.
I'm so excited, Mom.
Wow. Well, you were going to tell us something about how you're doing in your classes.
Well, I just didn't do very well on my last test, and I really want to stay here and study. So if you guys don't mind, if I could just stay here while you guys go out.
Well, excuse me.
Oh, what?
Do you even hear what he's saying?
Yeah, you were doing great on that test. Fantastic.
We would really love if you came with us. I mean, we're only here so often and, I don't know, we were so excited to see you in action, remember?
Well, I guess if you really want to go out, I guess we can do that.
Well, that's so
We only have 5 minutes left on the meter. We really do have to hurry.
All right, well, let's go. Put on that gold jacket I got you and let's get moving. Yeah? Woo!
Okay, all right. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a couple questions, and you don't necessarily have to answer, but I want you to really think about it. First, let's say thank you to Zach for being brave. Okay. So what did Zach do differently than our original protagonist to change the scenario?
He changed his attitude towards his parents, which made them a lot happier and made them not so accusatory of how he did bad on his test.
Okay, good. So he changed his attitude to make his parents happier. Does that change how he's feeling? Does that satisfy his needs in the scene?
I have to study.
He still has to study, right? He still feels this pressure, right? You still feel this pressure about this test, about this class.
It's
Okay?
just lessons because it's not for family. It's just for school and the friend. It's not
Okay.
for family.
Okay, good. So we're gonna start again from the beginning. And Zach can come back in
I'm going
at any point. But see if there's a different point, or at the same point, if you have a different way that you may approach it, we'll test it out, okay?
Hey, Peanut, we're here.
Stop.
Honey?
Making sure. All right, go. Where would you like to start?
Knocking at the door.
Honey? Where is he? We told him 10 a.m. Text him.
Stop.
Oh,
No germs.
are you sick?
Still no germs.
Oh
Can you take
no.
off your shoes too? Just I'm not doing.
Excuse me, you don't talk to your mother like that.
Well, just, I try to keep it nice and clean here.
Well, okay, well, it doesn't look clean. Have you been studying lately?
Been hitting the books a couple times.
Okay, well, how are you doing?
Let's see above the average.
Well, honey, if you weren't spending all that time at that theater, maybe you'd have more time to study.
True. Bye-bye. Can't get these grades.
Well, what do you have to say about that?
You're doing great. It's fantastic.
Were you even listening?
A little bit.
Oh, come on. Anyways, we're gonna go out and explore. We'd love for you to take us a tour.
See, what had happened was I was gonna read that book, I mean, for Mr. What's his name class, and
Oh yeah, Mr. What's his name? We were talking about that.
yes. And try to get that done. I'm thinking like, y'all can go out now, maybe a couple hours, come back, and
Well, studying is important. I mean, but you'll be ready to come out in a few hours?
yeah.
I mean, there's
Okay.
only 5 minutes left on the meter. If you're going to go with us, it has to be now.
You know what? I don't like the book anyway.
But you do need to study it. I don't know.
What to do?
Okay. Give John a round of applause. Good. All right. So, what were his tactics?
What
Huh?
tactic?
There were tactics there. What did we do?
It seemed like he kind of owned up to his actions about not studying a lot,
Okay.
and his mom was going to give him a few hours, but he said something.
Almost there,
He
right?
didn't say anything. They would have come back in a few hours, and then he would have been ready to go. Still time to study, so then he would have had like less pressure because he could have retaken that test and been like, okay, I know some of this, and then he got to spend time with his parents. So it's like I still have a good relationship. So then that's like 2 pressures out the door.
All right, we're gonna go again. One more time with the camera on, and then.
Go in next time. Peanut, we're here.
Honey? Oh, why is she here this?
Stop.
Again?
Ow.
Can we go to the thing where you're like yelling at her after you've told her you're like
Stop wallowing kind of thing?
Yeah, like after that, and you're like, I'll be at the door, I'll be at the car, whatever. Before that.
Okay. You are not going to ruin this weekend. You are going to get up out of bed and enjoy this weekend.
You know what, Mom? I'm sorry that I can't come out with you guys, but I really have to study, and this is super important for me. I don't want to fail my classes, but I love you guys, and you guys can have a fun time without me.
I don't appreciate your tone.
But I really do have to study. Can you come back later?
Honey,
Yeah.
Were you even listening to her?
Yeah,
This is your daughter who you haven't seen in months. Come on.
I know. If she needs to study this badly, we can come back later. There's 5 minutes left on the meter. I need to get back down there. I don't want to get a ticket.
well, you did say you didn't do so well, but I would appreciate being more respectful next time. Can we talk about this?
Okay, I will, but I just need you to understand that not everything is about you guys sometimes.
When have we ever made this about you and about us? Well, we're paying for your tuition, honey. Do you remember that part? It's not about us.
Yeah, but see, you're paying all that money, and I want to do good in school. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, I would like to reiterate, you are the center of our lives, and you're so important to us. We want you to be able to study. So, but we want you to meet up with us later.
For sure. We can.
You promise?
Yes, I'll be ready.
All right, well, I guess we'll go eat dinner by ourselves somewhere.
Yeah.
He's gonna text the whole time.
All right, so good. Now tell us, what tactics did Narita use?
She spoke up for herself.
Spoke up for herself.
She defended herself against her parents so that she could still get a little happy.
Good. Yeah. Happy balance. Excellent. All right, so we'll go ahead and turn off the camera for either being a spectator or a spectator for that, for our little scene work. I want to ask you how that experience was for you, that is doing form theater, either as an actor or as a spectator.
It was fun and interesting to watch.
Okay. What was fun about it?
It was fun whenever I got to go up there and do the scene, because I could do any way that I could and interact and change the scene.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like, in life, can you do those things?
Yeah.
Replay?
No.
Well, no, I meant.
It's not quick.
I could just hit the rewind button.
Right, yeah. So, you see the value of being able to replay a scene a couple times, yeah. All right, what else?
I feel like it made me more interested in the scene because I could go in and change it and do whatever I needed to get a better outcome, and maybe people were more aware of the situation that was happening because they got to think about it and get into it and interact with the other characters.
I was just gonna say it makes me more aware of the things that I do and say on a daily basis and how just the littlest things can affect me sooner for better or for worse. And getting to replay that all the time, or that scene over and over, it's you only get to do things one time, so you might as well go ahead and say the right things at the right time when you can, instead of screwing up yourself.
To build off of Zach's, I think it's you should value your actions because you only get one time to do it. And I don't know if this happens to everybody, but sometimes I'll think back to the situation and replay it over and over to see change what I could have said or done to make it a better positive outcome.
Okay, excellent. And so I'm going to have at least the two actors that are seated in the circle, I'm going to have them share how the experience was for them and how it affected their character, okay? How the different scenarios changed their character. not them personally as a person.
You want us to speak as a character?
Yes.
Okay, well, I was just so excited to finally get to see my little girl, right? I mean, it's been a long time. She's been at college, and she's my only daughter. So having an empty nest has not been fun, right? So at first when I came home and came to her room, and she was so enthusiastic, we had just gone, a 2-hour drive to come see her, and it was really tough because, I mean, like I said, I wasn't able to finish college. I know how much I want this for her, and to see her so upset and completely not thinking about what we were feeling and what we were thinking, not empathizing at all, was really tough. And admittedly, I let my feelings get the best of me. I did. And I think once the scenes kept going, and we were able to talk, rationally, and we were able to meet in the middle more than me trying and her not really trying as much. I think that was a lot more productive. I think we all kind of saw that. It got more productive as we were able to meet in the middle.
And so I'm going to have Shelby speak as the student, and as watching the mirror images of herself. And what did that look like to her, being able to see herself, as a mirror image?
Well, I'm usually incredibly stressed, and I always try to, my friends always try to kind of one-up me, and I always try to meet them because I want to be impressive to them by having a lot of things going on. And so I just overwork myself because I think that just is a sign of success, I guess. So to see these different parts of me do different things to stand up for myself, I realize that I should probably do that more often, and I don't give myself enough credit, and it might help me a bit more mental health wise to do that. And to maybe just have maybe a more positive outlook on things in general.
Okay. So that is in a nutshell, really condensed version of form theater for you, okay? Can you maybe reflect for me how form theater could be beneficial using a different topic or a different audience? Can you see this working elsewhere? And not specifically even our specific performance. What else can you see?
Maybe if it was targeted towards, I don't know, for example, maybe if the scene was about someone getting abused or something, and it was targeted towards an audience of people who don't see that often, they could see signs of it and interact with the scene and, see more symptoms of someone's relationship in that kind of scenario.
Mm-hmm.
More like you said, you can really do it for any social issue, and then not a certain audience, but just a random group of people and to go so that they can see it. But really, it can work for any social issue because it could be topic or any topic.
Yeah. And our peers have done different things as well, such as rape culture was one of the topics. Also, the pressures of identity, gender identity, and sexual identity. So, what do you think is? So you take the role of the protagonist, right? Do you think it would be beneficial? So we did the parent scene. What do you think the benefit would be if parents were in the audience watching this play out?
I think they get to see different ways their child may be feeling, and how different ways that they react can kind of put their kid in a corner where they can't do anything about it because their parents just so over controlling and basically decides what they're gonna do, and it can show parents how to kind of back off and let the kids decide for themselves.
So just we kind of position the parents to be a little oppressive, not listening. We gave them some flaws, right? We also gave the protagonist some flaws, but the flaws of the parents were enacting certain pressures on the protagonist, right? And sometimes it's good for those who may act as the oppressor, consciously or unconsciously, to see that, see that mirror of self. Okay, so that's all we have for you.